Welcome back, everyone, with some actually amazing news. After yesterday's disappointment with the slight update, we get some big news. And this is not clickbait. Everyone has always clamored for Heroes Adventure 2, that also includes myself, and we now get a spin off, another Heroes Adventure. They mention how the whole development over multiple years has been full of twists and turns, and they are grateful for our support. And as such, it's time to start a new adventure, one that addresses the regrets of the past. And just looking at this, I like it. I like the new art. Of course, the art does not represent the game entirely. We've seen it with Heroes Adventure itself, but I like it. Our main character still this elusive, hidden martial art master. Very cool. And it's like some new characters. I feel like this is going to be some sect leader again, Swallow sect leader, something else sect leader, some girls we can definitely recruit. She looks very familiar as well, the girl in the yellow dress. I feel like this is going to be Yu Weya as well from the Melody House, making a return in the game. But to talk about the game itself, as the name suggests, it's a spin off set in the same world as the original. It's a one time purchase and it carries forward the same spirit of martial arts and heroism. We'll check out the Steam page in a bit. Now, about the spin off, if the original game was a Jianghu survival simulator, the spin off is more like a martial arts tale where you are both protagonist and author alike. Freedom and choice remain central, and that's something I very much enjoy about the first game is your freedom in the game. You can select whichever region you want to go for. You can do some sect missions. You can also choose to abandon them, ignore them. You can choose to ignore the main mission entirely. You can just kill everyone, it doesn't matter. There are tons of choices, tons of even skill checks where it's like if you have beast taming level 4, you can advance easily, otherwise you need to do a whole mission, a whole quest line. If someone likes you, you get benefits and so on. Like very, very central elements of the game, and I support that these are still in the game. Then, well, as mentioned, your actions have effects, your actions have consequences, you can change other people's fates, and even the balance of the entire Jianghu. And now we get to a super interesting image. This is your character appearance creation menu. So here you can select how your character looks like in the game, and the small sprite even represents it. If you remember in Heroes Adventure, currently we are using a skin changer mod, which allows you to like swap your own skin with one of the NPCs. And in this way, you can like get a new skin entirely. And I don't want to call it sequel, it's more a spin-off after all. This spin-off allows you to create your own character. It's definitely not a necessary addition, but still very welcome. And here you have different options. You can change your eyes. So in this case, it's like the second option of preset. So there are like not unlimited options, there are just some presets, which reminds me of the good old Nintendo DS times, where you can just cycle through some presets. There's, for example, your facial marking. So I suppose this is going to be tattoos. This is your beard. It's currently set to none, and there are most likely some different ones, and so on. Interestingly enough, there is no gender option. I know some people have asked for a female hero to be playable, and they could have definitely added it right here, but there is no such gender option. So we'll see in the future how it will go, but I still like it. And we can partially see some of the new scenes. This is up here definitely a new city. You can see a river running through it, a bridge across it. So they definitely remade some of the buildings, some of these cities. I'm very hyped for that. Then furthermore, the adventure fundamentally fixes legacies issues such as the 8th direction movement and character customization, which we talked about. I don't know if you can call the 8th direction movement a legacy issue. I think Heroes Adventure 1 was just never built for it. And what does 8th direction movement mean? In the current game, if you fight, like you remember the squares you can move, etc. If you move in a cardinal direction, and this is the directions you're supposed to go, like in a plus shape, you can move a lot further than with diagonal movement, as diagonal movement is 2 movement types at once, so like lateral and horizontal movement. Now it's vertical and horizontal movement like that. And this new game includes 8th direction movement, which means you have a lot more choices with how you move in combat. So perhaps some hit and run builds will work a lot better, but I don't know if it's truly needed, and it could definitely affect the balance of the game. I don't think, or I never considered the 4th direction movement a limitation of the base game either. Now, besides that, well, the maps and environments include more active actions like jumping and initiating attacks. I am a big fan of jumping, or as mentioned, skill checks. And well, jumping always has to do with your Qigong stat, and Qigong is your light movement, lightness skill, however you want to call it. And in the base game, there are maybe 3 checks for it. Like once when you try to rob the Schiffer Tower, if you want to head up to one of the higher floors, and it only requires 200 and 300 Qigong, which is super easy to obtain. Then besides that, there is the Peak of Jianghu battle. You need a certain amount of Qigong to even reach it, and if you don't have enough, you can't participate. This reminds me I should probably feature that in a video at some point. And just adding more options could be cool, like jumping on top of a mountain to ambush someone, etc. And well, initiating attacks, I don't know if it's needed. We currently have the manual battle start and ambush, but sure, hit me up with all of it. Now, combat has also returned to a lighter turn-based system. I'll get to that in a minute. And it features 3 new mechanics: willpower combos, weak point guard break, and team attacks, aiming at both enhancing pacing and strategic depth. I'm a big fan of team attacks, but let's take a look at the image itself and my take on that, like a turn-based system. First up, in the image itself, you see some familiar characters, and I don't mind them reusing the sprites. Now let's start on the top left. You can see the turn order, and if you even read it like this turn, the 4th turn, and so on, I feel like action speed got completely nerfed in this spin-off. Like if you play the current, I keep saying base game, but the current game, if you have a lot of action speed, you can get multiple turns before your opponent even acts. Like you can get a ratio of you do 6 turns, the enemy does 1 turn every time, and so on. But once you break down the game to a turn-based system like this, action speed loses a lot of its value. To me, it looks like action speed will only impact your order within a turn, and not how many turns you get per in total per one enemy turn. And I don't know if that's true to the hero's adventure spirit. Besides that, we can see our character. This is Yu Weya, as I mentioned, or at least she very much looks like it. She is wielding a flute as well, and you can see the flute icon right here as well. So this will most likely change depending on which character's martial art type you have equipped. And next to it is your fusion menu. Now, these different buttons, they are like use items, change your internal cultivation method, Shin Fa, something Gong. So this is like Wugong, your martial arts to attack. You can charge up power, which is dependent on your internal type. It's in the base game as well, like this crit charge up. If you've seen it with some other internals, there's like even the healing, poisoning, defending, and so on. Retreating is also an option down here. They moved it from over there to here. So they just condensed the menu a bit. Then with the loop, I keep saying loop, deutsches Wort, German word. Like with the zooming icon, you can most likely check out the enemies. This is a bit smarter in terms of design choice, but yeah, still very basic. What I really like though is these icons over here, but I just noticed something else. This guy, the like Buddhist monk, is also like protecting, and which is one of these actions. But let's get to the icons, because you can see like a fist icon, spear icon, staff, fist, and sword, and some of them are glowing. And if we look at our specific characters in battle, some of them are glowing as well, but they don't make sense. Okay, never mind. This is like first up your martial arts type you can see right here. And what I theorize is this is the display for like ultimate or team attacks. Because you can see it like slowly filling with the different icons. And most likely once it's like fully filled, your icon will start to glow. Your ultimate is ready, your team attack is ready, and you can then use it. I just wonder now who's who. Because this guy has like a twig in his hand. Is that supposed to be sword? I hope not. Like, let's go through. Wait, we have a spear, we have a staff. So spear guy right here, staff guy right here. The flute girl is right here. Okay, I'm super confused. Why is there one character missing? There are 6 characters in battle. She definitely has a flute, so she is not included in this selection. Or are you telling me this is supposed to be the flute? No shot. No chance this is the flute. I actually have to think about this image right now, because she is currently being highlighted, or this character, which leads me to believe it should be the active character. But since these icons differ, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, they got some new icons. You can also see the buffs down here, which and well, a ton of new effects. Like look at this, your aura, so cool. Another aura. This is most likely willpower break or weak point guard break, one of those two. But yeah, I'm very much hyped for this like new combat system. The HP values see very low, but I would not mind them simplifying it, like the current Hero's Adventure 2560 difficulty. When enemies have 20,000 HP, it's a bit weird, but lower values are a lot more fun. But I think we've covered this image now. Yes, it's still like in development, and you can expect it in 2026. And with that, we can get to the Steam page itself. A pixel art RPG. And okay, can I open it? Perfect. Okay, wow. That looks amazing. That is a lot of lighting and so on. I guess this is some New Year festival. The dragon reminds me too much of it, and all of these lanterns, these fish lanterns and so on. That looks amazing. It still has the same spirit as Hero's Adventure. I can recognize so many characters. Here you can see even this like 8 direction movement. Wait a second. Did you mean 8 direction movement in general or only in combat? I feel like they meant in general, because you can see these characters moving like purely south. Huh. Okay. That is then like a lot cooler. In combat, I still hope we go for the 4 direction combat. But yeah, very cool. Then another showcase of combat, and in this case, he is actively selected. He was the sword user. Yes, most no. He's the twig user. So the one with the twig is considered a sword. Interesting. Interesting development. But he is most likely doing his ultimate attack with some special effects. Very, very cool. Looking at the turn order, this happened before the other image. Can we like make some conclusions? It is this girl followed by a soldier. Okay, this doesn't hold true right there. But yeah, I don't think there's like any other new development on the screen. Okay, this is like Qigong training, old assets being used. Ooh. Oh, we got a whole new inventory. So you have your fame level, your money, and your stamina. I do like that they kept stamina. I just hope they make it a bit more lenient. It's a bit annoying. But your base characters, and well, we'll just translate this real quick. Okay, one translation later, we have the character menu, we have our inventory, which in this case includes barehanded, so most likely fist moves. We have sword techniques, Janfa, Daufa, blade techniques, staff techniques, I think, spear techniques, as well as throwing and internal methods. That is super bizarre though, that there's no mention of short weapons, which is dagger, brush, and fan, as well as musical weapons, flute, zither, and lute. Like no mention whatsoever. They could have been removed from the game. But if they were removed from the game, why would she be using a flute? Or is this supposed to be a... Wait a second. Did I draw a bad conclusion the whole time? Is this supposed to be like a mini staff instead? Imagine this like a staff and you bonk people with it. This is also a staff, but why is it so tiny? Well, that's what she said. Hopefully not. Look at the spear. Look at the dimension of the spear. A fully erect spear and then a tiny flute or staff. But let's assume that is actually a staff. This is a spear. This is a sword guy. So we have 2 fist users, and the one with a like obvious staff is a fist user all of a sudden. But it would at least make sense as to why the active character has the staff icon right there. Okay, interesting. But yes, musical weapons seem to have been removed entirely. Short weapons as well. And throwing manuals get their own slot. Super bizarre. And well, we have some like common ones. We have the heaven destroying palm, like the sky destroyer palm, making its debut again. We have the Virocana palm. We have this 8 extreme thunder palm. Anything else we know, like Soulbreaker Claw right here. And yeah, some very familiar names itself, but not too interesting. If we then look at one of those moves, we have level 1 as well, like the XP you need, your requirement, your weapon requirement. This is a like boxing palm fist move right here. This icon shows you that. So it does not have any weapon requirement. Its base power is 70. It requires 10 mana, like 10 MP as a consumption. It does not have a cooldown, and it can hit a single enemy. Well, that's what it at least says. Outside of that, What do we have right here? Attack. Interesting. Like this right here is cultivate. So with this button, we can just cultivate. It seems we no longer have P as a like shortcut hotkey where you can actively meditate. Instead, it's with this menu option. Then you can like actively attack someone. You can jump. You can have like a function key where I'm like not certain what it does. You can fast forward time. So what meditate like tended to do, but no different. Very, very interesting though. I don't know what to say to this image. What kind of martial art is this supposed to be? A whip. We have established, we have fist, sword, blade, staff, spear, throwing. So what are you? Is this a whip? Is that throwing all of a sudden? But we have a new girl. She definitely looks like main character or like main female lead at least. And well, I'm liking it. Can't complain with it. I don't think there's anything else of note right here. Mm, interesting. Right, right. I completely skipped over this. Sorry. These options up here. Like what we have right here is the character, the inventory. So those stay the same. Your martial arts, your talents. So this is your passive tree, like most likely your passive tree. Then very bizarrely, your formations. I don't know what formations is supposed to be. And then journal and your knowledge. So I suppose knowledge is supposed to be your skills, the different skills you have obtained, like beast taming and so on. And journal is, well, your normal journal. But formation, I'm super uncertain about what formation could be. Like maybe battle formation that you can set it up. Oh, wait. Okay, you just answered my question. It is the battle formation you can set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters. Level 50, 50, 40, 40, 10, 10. Okay, I gotta translate this image as well. Okay, so right here we have our character, his name Chen Inqua, level 50. So like level 50, 40, 40, 10, 10. And he has a spear as an active weapon, which leads me to believe he's this guy right here, which grants 100 attack. He has some robe granting plus 50 defense, no boots, and no accessory. And boots is a very interesting setup. We don't have any form of boots in Hero's Adventure right now. Outside of that, 1180 HP, 590 mana, 1625 attack, then defense, I think speed. Yeah, this should be speed. Then we have fighting spirit, so most likely for ultimates and so on. We have accuracy, chance to dodge, crit chance, crit resistance. So there appears to be a crit resistance stat now. Armor penetration, block, skill effectiveness, block effectiveness, damage bonus, damage reduction, healing bonus, and status resistance. That is a ton of new modifiers. We don't currently have any form of crit resistance in the base game. You can only be immune to crits with, for example, the Confucius Sutra skill, but there's no such thing as reducing the crit chance when being attacked, as far as I am aware. Armor penetration does exist in the current game, but not as a standalone stat. This could be very cool though. Block is, I suppose, parry as well. Like block and parry should be the same thing. But skill effectiveness, block effectiveness, do like it puts a lot more emphasis on what's happening with the calculation. We currently are not too aware how everything works in Heroes Adventure 1. There are some multipliers which don't act like how they are supposed to be working, which includes crit. Sometimes crit does more, sometimes it does less. Maybe this helps to figure out some like in-game mechanics. And damage bonus, damage reduction, I suppose just like adds up all of your modifiers, all of your multipliers to display one value. Healing bonus and status resistance, I would have to see an in-game example of how they work. Status resistance is pretty simple to understand, but healing bonus, do you get like 100 healing more when you get healed? Who knows? And well, battle formation, what's super interesting is how there are 8 characters on the menu. We have 7 characters we can see right here and 8 different ones on the field. So they may have expanded our like combat team up from 5. But this, yeah, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 characters could fit on the screen. That could work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 8 is a better option. So there's that. Okay, this is just a typical interaction. I do like these larger portraits, and you can either like start a fight with him, you can pay him 1000 when, you can come back later, or you can just like talk with him. Typical stuff. Ooh, is this like a morale boost or something? That could happen. Very cool shield in front of you though. I like these new animations. And space is skip your turn, escape, typical stuff. Nothing special about it. But here, yeah, this is what I mentioned with the turn-based system. Look at us. We get one action, then all of the other enemies. Then we get one action, then all of the other enemies. Action speed feels so underwhelming in that current demo. Yes, character creation we've already seen. Okay, this guy, iron-faced masked guy, is making another debut, and that's it. We've now tackled all of those images. Planned release 2026, we definitely added to our wish list. Anything else left in here? Some more videos. Unhurried combat, unlimited strategy. We get a video. Yo, those look good. Those actually look really good. Those animation, those like team attack animations and so on. Hell yeah. Where there are people, there is Jianghu. We can disguise ourselves. We can destroy some rocks. That feels amazing. That's some like more interaction with the map. Anything else we get? Yeah, it looks quite lively, I'll be honest. But why is it her that moves into the scene? And what are the minimum requirements for gigabytes of RAM? This is very low. But yeah, I think I have now like tackled everything there is to it. I am certainly hyped. I hope you guys are as well. And well, I'll definitely update you if there are any new news. And see you guys then. Have a great day.